Hi and welcome back to Tech It Out, and to this the second part of the review for the Campark XtremeV UHD 4K action camera, otherwise known as the X30. Today we'll be looking at the settings on the camera and how to set it up and how I set it up myself for my particular use. Then we'll have some test footage, and from that do some full 4K 60 FPS footage in a separate video. So here we go then. The first thing we need to do, of course, is to turn it on. So just a long press on the power button and the blue light comes on, the screen lights up, and quite quickly into the screen it's recognised I've got an SD card in there and it needs formatting. So let's see, it's a 64GB U3 Samsung card in here at the moment, so let's see how long it takes. Format successful almost instantly. Now then, let's go into the settings and see the various settings. I'm going through this with you. If I just get my thumb in the right place. I'm going through this with you freshly. I haven't actually tried any of the settings yet, so I'm coming to this without even reading the instructions or anything, just setting it up from fresh and see what it's like. So at the top there we got the record resolution 2.7, 30 FPS is what it's set to out of the box. If I click on that, we got a 4K 30 at the top, 4K 60, which makes this camera pretty special. Most of these cameras that you see for sale are actually 4K 30 only or 4K 25. To have 4K 60 is pretty special. The bigger, more expensive action cams, GoPros and so on, they will have the 4K 60, and I think the Sony's has it as well. But the cheaper ones like this, very rare they have 4K 60, mostly 4K 30 or 4K 25. Then you have the one that you've set out of the box, which is the 2.7K 30 FPS, then 1080 120 FPS, 1080 60 FPS, 1080 30, 720 240, 720 120, and 60 and 30. So you can have virtually anything. I'm just going to set it for now to the 1080p 60, which is where I'd normally have my settings for YouTube. So that's set up now to 1080p 60. I can put on the image stabilization, so I'll switch that on. You can't have the distortion control on at the same time. That's grayed out, but once you turn the image stabilization off, you can have distortion control on. That is when you're using the ultra wide, the 170 degree lens. It takes out the fisheye effect basically. So I'm going to keep the EIS on. I'll be using the medium setting for the lens. So we got white balance, I'll leave that at auto. Exposure, I'll leave that as 0. Metering, average metering, yep, leave that as average. You can have it spot center. In fact, I'll change that to center. I do prefer center metering. Sharpness, I'll leave that on middle. I don't want it too sharp or too soft. Video quality, well, I want high quality. ISO, I'll leave that on automatic. I do like this screen, it is working very well. I'm not pressing quite as hard as I should. You got to time watermarks, you can have the time watermark. Well, I don't want that on my video, so I'll take that off. Record audio, yes, I'll have the audio please. And FOV, and I think that's the last of the settings there. So you can turn the wide, the middle, or the narrow. We'll keep it in middle. It was set to wide out of the box. Then the other settings, we have image rotation. That is for when perhaps you want to turn the camera upside down for some reason. I don't know, you may be hanging off a bridge or something. You never know. Bungee jumping, there we go. You got your Wi-Fi on and off. Your Wi-Fi information, reset the Wi-Fi. Light frequency, it's on 50 Hz at the moment. Other people have told me this doesn't matter, but I always set mine to 60 Hz. Most of my people who watch this are in America and in countries where the electricity supply is about 60 Hz, and I don't know if it affects it or not, but I put it on there just in case. LED indicator, so the little LED, you can turn that off or on. leave it on so I know it's actually recording. Auto screensaver, well, yes, after 30 seconds of not being used, I'll actually increase that to a minute because I find that 30 seconds is a bit too short. Okay, then we got auto power off after 3 minutes, that's fine. Then you got the button prompt, high, low, and middle. I'm not sure, I'm going to have to actually look at the booklet for that one. The button prompt, okay. Then we got the language, English of course, time format. I have to change that because in the UK it's day, month and year, and in various other countries they have them the other way around. I think it's month, day and year in America. Time set, so you can set the time, set the date, format the card which we just did, and then at the bottom device info with the software information. One thing I will be doing before I start using it is checking to see if there is an update to the software. It doesn't give a date, but it does give 219010, I think it is. So I'll check that to see if there's an update to the actual software itself. And that's the end of that. So if we come back out, we have another little button there, which I believe is for Wi-Fi, but of course I haven't switched the Wi-Fi on yet, so you can use that to turn the Wi-Fi on and off. Or is it just a thing to say that it's a touchscreen? It may be. Anyway, so video quality is now 1080p, 60 FPS. You can turn off the information just by tapping. Gone into the video mode. So you can check to see videos that you've made already and replay them, but of course I haven't recorded any yet. Battery is full, and the other information about the Wi-Fi and so on, it's all displayed at the top. Setup, very straightforward, very easy. The touchscreen is an absolute joy to use, it's really good. The other things I like about this, I did mention in the other video, is that the battery door is hinged, so it won't fall off you. So there we go. And of course you've got the mount for the camera there. And on the side you've got your SD card, your USB and your HDMI. On the top then, finally you've got this start-stop recording button. So if I go out and press start recording, and you see the time is going up there. If you're wondering, by the way, why the screen is a little looks a little funny, it's because I haven't taken the screensavers off yet. I leave that till I finish setting it up and I know it's ready to use, so I don't get anything scratched. That's the basic setup then of the Campark XtremeV UHD 4K, otherwise known as the X30 Action Cam. Bit of a mouthful. And next thing is to take some test footage and to see how it performs. I'll do some in 1080p at 60 FPS because that's the video will be processed and put up to YouTube in that. But as I said, later on I'll do some 4K 60 FPS. Now the reason 4K 60 FPS is better is because if you're using it for moving, such as on a bike, a motorbike, a car, or running, or moving shots of any speed, you don't get the blurring that you get with 30 FPS. So I'm looking forward to see how it performs with that. We'll go on now to the test footage.